we don't care how much resources we have. We're just gonna make this, and we're gonna make it to the best of our ability, and nothing's gonna hold us back.
Hi everyone, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Chat with Nick. And today we have Mark Labella, who is the showrunner, director, writer, creator, and everything else of Nurse the Dead. We're gonna find out about why he created Nurse the Dead and what his past was like. Hi Mark, how are you doing?
Hi Mick, I'm so happy to be here. Your place is amazing, you guys. Mick is like a baller. I had no idea you were such a baller.
No.
It's so nice.
And I was just saying earlier, this is like probably the fuzziest pre-show preparation that we've done so far.
Shout out to Adrian and Marvin who worked on Nurse the Dead together. They're fantastic, very specific. They even fixed your zippers.
I know this is the first time. I mean, yeah, I should have you guys here all the time.
Ang galing. It's a good team. It's a good group. Like little things like that, we just have to team up because we're such a little team on Nurse the Dead, you know. So I'm so happy for them.
What did you have to overcome to become the person who's sitting with us here today?
Grabe namang question mo. Ang deep naman right away, ha? Walang how are you doing today?
I just said that earlier.
Oh man, Mick. Okay, so of course I was born in Cebu, Philippines. Very simple there, right? And then I grew up in San Diego. I was, of course, like every Filipino parent, they want you to go into the medical field. My mom wanted me to be what? Guess what? A Filipino nurse, right? She's a nurse for 46 years, so I mean, it's something that she's very proud of. So I went into medicine thinking that was my only path available to me. Pero, you know, I really, since I was a kid, I used to like just lock myself in my room and just write. Even yung Legos, right? I would just play with my Legos, pretending that I was a director and creating like a TV show out of it. That's how weird I am. And that's just something that's in my bones and something I can't deny. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you know this about me, but I know there's this picture circulating on the internet right now about me like delivering babies during an earthquake in the middle of the street at CCMC in Cebu, right? In the street talaga, as the chunks of the hospital were falling on top of us. I think that's the day I realized, oh my gosh, there's so many more stories to tell. You know how people say na every story has been told? I think that's bullshit, to be honest, because not every perspective has been told, right? If you look at everything that happened with what we did in Philippines, in Cebu, saving lives and all that stuff, that perspective, like women not being able to afford basic anesthesia, basic sutures. You know how a woman gives birth. They can't even afford the sutures, right? I mean, those things you don't see on American television.
You were younger, and of course we have Asian parents, Filipino parents. They always want us to follow a path that they want for us, not necessarily our own path. How did you end up in medical school to begin with? I mean, you could have said, no, that's not what I want. That's not my path. That's not what I want for myself.
You know, when you grow through life, you don't really know what you want, right? I just thought that being a doctor was just a natural path for me. Right? I just thought that, medicine is the only thing I knew. So right after high school, I joined the Navy. I was in the U.S. Navy. I was a hospital corpsman. That's like the medic for the Navy and the Marines. And so I just decided, okay, I think this is it for me. That's all I know. That's all I've ever seen from my parents. And I joined the Navy in medicine. And right after the Navy, I went to medical school. That was just a natural path for me. And it really takes time for you to know who you are. That's why, like, I always tell people, dude, we're in our 30s, 40s already. You're dating a 19-year-old. They're not gonna know who they are. You know what I mean? It takes time for you to live life, to have that wisdom, to most importantly know yourself and accept yourself and live in the bones you were meant to. And for me, nasa DNA ko na to eh. It's really something that I can't live without. And I'm so happy to be doing it.
And speaking of writing? Because you mentioned earlier that you had all these stories in your head, like you would be in your room, coming up with all these stories for TV. Where do you think that comes from?
I don't know, Mick. It's really weird. But you know what's so weird? Because my entire family, I grew up with a single mom, right? I was raised by her in San Diego. She was the only thing I have, and that's what Nurse Dead is about. If you've seen it, right? It's really about a single mom just trying to do her best with her daughter, and that's who my mom was. She was a single mom, and our entire family, the Sinisa side, are either nurses or PT or you ganon. And I didn't know that I had this side of me that wasn't, because I never knew my dad until I actually went back to Philippines for medical school. Did my pre-med at George Washington University. Umuwi ako sa Cebu to relearn the language, get in touch with my culture again. And that's when I also got in touch with my Labella side, my father, because we've been estranged for all this time. And I realized that my grandfather is one of the pioneering Bisaya directors in Philippines. He's with like Gloria Sevilla and Matt Ranillo. So you know Matt?
Yeah.
Tito Matt actually brought me a book with my grandfather's picture and his mom Gloria Sevilla's picture. They are like icons of their time in Philippines, in the Bisaya film world. And so it was in my DNA and I didn't even know it. Like, how much is nature, how much is nurture, I don't know, right? But I just knew that the pen is mightier than the sword, and that stories really change lives for the better, because it changed mine. And I'm hoping that if Nurse the Dead makes one person feel less lonely, feel more understood, I think that we have done our jobs as filmmakers. Kahit isa lang. And I think but thank God it's speaking to so many people. No, when it talks about grief, it talks about motherhood, it talks about family and the sacrifices that Filipino nurses have given to our country. I mean, you know this statistic, right? That we're the number one immigrant nursing population in the country. 4%, actually only 4% of all nurses in US are Filipino. But yet 30% of the nurses who died during the pandemic were Pinoy. That just shows you that us Filipinos are in the front lines. We're caring for people. And there's a socioeconomic thing there that is undiscovered and not talked about that cause us to really carry each other and our community and our families. And so I'm hoping that it speaks to so many of our community, and yet love and community and family and grief is universal. And that's the kind of stories I want to tell.
You mentioned something about nurture versus nature, right? And so you found out a lot of things about your DNA and where you come from in terms of the Labella side, right? But the nurturing, of course, you were raised by a single mom.
Yeah.
And do you think that all kind of melded into one place, Nurse the Dead?
Yeah, I mean, Nurse the Dead really is based on personal. When you're writing about a personal experience talaga. And I'll tell you this, I think back to sitting down in an entire facility with 212 people. I was the only one there because everyone was sick with COVID. And there's these older people that had dementia and things like that. And I just remember being there 18-hour days, 19-hour days, and people were scared. And I have to tarp different places. I took that facility. I created a surge plan just in case COVID happens, right? I left to do my preceptorship with Dr. Philart. And so we would go Hollywood Presbyterian and Hollywood Hospital, Southern Hospital of Hollywood. I can't remember the exact name of that hospital that I did my preceptorship with him. And I got to see like people just fighting to breathe. And people just fighting to live and being so scared because especially older people, they drop like flies, especially with that first wave of COVID with that vaccine. Colleagues were lost, and I just remember Marvin preparing a Christmas dinner for us. And it was just our little COVID bubble, Karina and stuff. He was preparing this beautiful feast, and I finally got to go home after like 3 days of being sleeping in the office, and I just remember reacting in anger. Galit ako for some reason, right? And it's my grief speaking, and that's why I wanted to write about, is putting my heart on pen and paper so people can see what had happened with us healthcare workers, especially on the Filipino perspective. That my mom was a nurse in Sharp Hospital during that time. I was scared out of my wits. Her best friend died during COVID, who's also RN, and her best friend's husband died in the same week, leaving 3 kids behind. I mean, that's the kind of sacrifice and loss that our community faced. And I think that if there's one thing that our show is going to do, is it's going to be able to show people how much and how hard we work to serve others. And what's more American than that is service, And I think that that's a pretty important story to tell. And Noah, no, I didn't tell anybody, so I only told Jolyn. Noah is spelled Noa, right? And she has that name because it stands for Nurse of America.
Wow.
But no one knows that, right? That's just something that I kept to myself, right? And Jillian figured it out because she was like, my aunt was the first nurse of America, and I think that it's really fitting, right? That her name is Noah. I was like, that's the name. That's why she's named Noah. And we've just had so many miracles to make this show happen. Yeah, it's a lot of drama behind the scenes when people care so much about what they do. But this is the best set I have ever been on. And so many people's best sets they've ever been on, because they were every single one of them was in it for the right reasons.
Speaking of drama behind the scenes, it takes a lot to put together a TV series or a film. It takes a lot of people,
Yes.
and you have to
Yes.
manage all of these different personalities, all of these different factors and aspects of the production. So what challenges did you have to overcome in producing and directing a show like this?
Okay, first challenge, I mean, it's obvious. Adrian will attest to this. The budget, honey. The budget. Right, Adrian? We couldn't go to overtime, right? We didn't have, our scrubs were donated from Alaga Scrubs, and our scrubs were also donated from Fabletics, right? Just that. Our food was donated from Arco. Like, really, the community had to come together for this. And when you don't have a lot of money and you want to make sure people get paid, like right now to this day, I gave up my own funds just to make sure that everyone that comes on set has a little bit of something. And so I have to be the person that's like, I need to be the last to get paid because I'm the one on top. And I just hope people understand how much service and sacrifice went into the show. And if we had more money, imagine what we did with this much money. Imagine what we would have and what we could do if we had the money, like with shows like The Pit have. They have millions, right? And it takes so much money to just make a show in LA, in Hollywood. To make a show in Hollywood, it's at least $500,000 a show to an episode, to $1 million an episode, to 2.5 million. Sometimes some shows are $8 million an episode. And I think people don't understand how much of a miracle it is that we were able to do the very first Filipino studio series ever in the history of Hollywood. Like, I mean, everyone on that set knew what we were making and what we were making it for. And man, am I so fucking lucky to be a part of that.
That's really the community showing up for each other,
Yes,
right?
yes. I even invited someone named Mick Diaz on set, but she was too good to come over. Right, Adrienne?
No, I think I was at church. I was at church
I'm just
during
kidding.
that time.
She was because we did shoot on weekends, huh?
Yeah.
We're shooting on weekends because we're shooting in a real hospital. We can't shoot in the daytime where there's actual patients and stuff like that. And we were a part of a wing. We were just so very lucky to be able to also shoot there.
What were the most memorable parts of making Nurse the Dead? I mean, first of all, it's you and your paper. It's you and your pen and your paper, right? When you were like thinking about Nurse the Dead, what was going in your head as you were writing the script?
I just knew in my heart and in my soul that we had to make this. And of course, Mick, I mean, I don't know if you know this about me, but I don't take too much pride in my ability because, pride can kill you, right? Especially in this business. I needed people who would tell me, Mark, shut the hell up, stop doubting yourself, and go make it, right? And shout out to like people like Drea Castro, Jillian Malone, Miko Del Rosario, Marvin Aretranco, right? Adrian Pangilin. I mean, these are people that were like, let's make this. We don't care how much resources we have. We don't care if I don't have an assistant, Adrian. We're just going to make this. And we're going to make it to the best of our ability. And nothing's going to hold us back. And I don't know if you know Drea and Jillian. They'll move mountains. Just these ladies are powerful human beings. When they say that something is going to happen, shit is going to move. And mountains aren't there anymore because these people in my life move mountains. And I just think that it's so important to be with good people you trust. Wesley Villarica, one of them, right? Mary Acevedo. I mean, those people are people that are just selfless human beings that understand what we're trying to do, and they don't think of, what about me? What can I get out of this? I think that's the kind of people that you have to surround yourself in your life, and that's the only reason why a show like this exists.
Going back into your creative history, you have Nurse the Dead now, but you created several other films and shows in the past.
Yes.
That kind of led you to this role of yours with Nurse the Dead.
Yes.
Let's talk about all of those other ones.
Okay. Oh, did you know that the very, very, very first thing I produced is something that to this day, people I work with on Nurse the Dead are still on? Like, I've worked with the same exact people that I started. I grew with these people, these amazing, incredible humans. Edgar Sunga. I'm sorry, Ed, if I mispronounced your name. I started with him. And you know what it was? Our little $200 short film. It was my film so that I could come out to my mom. I didn't know how to come out to my mom, right? As a homosexual, as a gay person. So I was like, I'm gonna write about it. I'm gonna write a script to come out to my mom. And it's so funny because a lot of my friends, some of them are veterans, right? Very conservative people. Also army and stuff like that. And they're veterans in entertainment, veterans in media, VME. Veterans in media and entertainment, they're part of that too.
What was the title of that first one?
It's called Unconditional. And it's on Amazon. It got really great ratings and a lot of awards. It's a short film with like $250 in our pocket. Marvin and Angel and all of us just came together to write it so I could come out to my parents. And I remember George and Ed reading and loving the script. And George is very conservative army veteran, huh? He goes, I love the story, Mark. My God, it's so well written, but why is it a guy? Bakit lalaki ang love interest niya? I was like, George, it's my story. It's my biggest fear on how my mom would react if she found out I was gay. Because I it's something that you are all your life. You just deny, And you can't change, just like I can't change my love and my bones for writing. I can't change who I love and who I chose to be committed to, because this is my person for the rest of my life, my soulmate. You can't choose that, right? And so we wrote a film called Unconditional. We shot it, and that was the start of this beautiful, beautiful journey that we've been on today. I work with Sun and Moon Films. Livy Zhang is still one of my best friends to this day. She's my producing partner. She's famous Indonesian director, producer. She was on the set of Nurse the Dead. Sun and Moon Films, my family for life. And it was because of them that I was actually able to survive the Coco Martin, Jody Santa Maria film called Love You With an Accent. That's the very first Filipino studio film ever produced in Hollywood. So, I mean, we made history with that.
Let's go back to that film, Unconditional. Your one audience is your mom, right? You made that to come out. To
Yes,
your mom.
of the closet.
How did you get her to watch it? How did you get her to come out and watch your film? And how did you
So I sent it
tell
to her.
her that that's what it is? It's really about you.
Yeah, I sent it to her. I sent her the film. And then she goes, "Oh my God, it's so good. You did a very good job. I cried." So she thought it was just a story, right? She didn't know that it was about me and my biggest fear on how she would react if I was coming out as gay. And then I finally said, "Mom, you know that's me, right?" And she just came from a trip, right, babe? She just came from a trip to the Jerusalem at that time. I think that's God's gift to her to finally know who her son is, the truth about her son, because now she lives with us. Now she loves Marvin. Now she like, life is so much easier and better. Like, a weight lifts off your shoulders when you're not so concerned about what other people think about you, or if they find out who you really are, you know? And so I think her trip to Jerusalem, God gifted her a miracle of knowing who her son truly is. And I hope she knows that, you know?
So did that one thing that you wanted to overcome, so that one thing that you had to overcome, that hurdle, did it lead you to want to do other things now that you've accepted and, you know, you kind of let that go and your mom knows now? Did that allow you to be more open about yourself? And did it
Yes.
lead you to writing and doing the
Yes.
things that you love?
Yes, absolutely. Before I used to. But you know, the bigger closet that I had to come out of was that really caused her to, like, her head to explode, is not being a doctor.
Oh, really?
Much worse. It was like whoosh.
Wow.
If coming out of the closet being gay is bad, like, think of it like my son is a doctor and what? He wants to be a writer? What? What's the anong pera niyan? He said, how is he gonna survive? You know, and so thank you, Lord, that my mom came around, that she saw that I was winning awards. And I think when she met Coco and Jody, she was like, "Oh, okay, then he might." Okay. You know, she did, like, and she saw me on TV, on NBC, on TV shows. I was in front of the camera first because I didn't know how to get in the business. I don't know anybody. I'm not a nepo baby. I don't have connections, right? That means that I had to work so hard to do what I do today, to win awards as a screenwriter, to show that I have proof of my work. I'm not rich. I don't have the money to fund my own stuff. But what I did have was grit. What I did have was I was going to write and work harder than every single other person. There's so many talented people in Hollywood. But what I'm going to do above that is I'm going to work harder than any of them. And if you ask Marvin, like, I would work and write until 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning. Last night I was up until like 4 in the morning just working. Right? And that's the kind of passion and heart and sometimes intensity that I put into the work that I do. And my mom even says, like, I come off so angry in my interviews and so aggressive, but that's just like, that's how passionate I am, because I didn't get to do this, man. Mick, I didn't get to do this for a lot of my life. And now that I'm finally here doing this, I'm going to put my heart and soul and everything I've got in it. And sometimes I can seem overly passionate, right? I can seem overly aggressive, but at the same time, I think the people that really love me and know me know that, oh, yeah, he's just really, like, cares too much, cares a lot about what he does.
People don't see the struggle.
Oh,
People
they don't
see
No,
the hard
no.
work and the hours that you put in.
Yeah, they don't. No.
They
don't.
only see what you've created
Yeah.
when you finally get an award and when you're getting all the accolades,
Yeah.
right?
And that's the thing. I mean, our community sometimes, and this is the truth, huh? I'm not sugarcoating it. There is a thing that's crab mentality in our community. I know I'm pretty sure you've experienced that or twice in your lifetime. And I don't think people know that I did not just wake up one day and have my own series. I didn't just wake up one day and things were handed to me on a silver platter. Like, I really had to show that I can write, that I've won awards, and that took years upon years upon years of writing, rewriting, understanding that feedback is good, that it's okay to listen to what other people have to say. And collaboration is filmmaking. Filmmaking is collaboration. I mean, you cannot say that I own this. We own this. It's ours, not mine. And yeah, I'm very protective of it, of course, right? Because this is grief on paper, but once it leaves the desk, it's all of ours now. It's Drea's, it's Wesley's, who are my favorite people in the world. It's Adrian's, it's John Anthony Wong's who's doing our post. It's Marvin Aritranco's. It's every single person. It's Char's. It's every single person that walks into that set. And now that's it out in the world, people still want to give feedback. I'm like, nah, dude, I can't go back to the editing room because it's already uploaded onto the streaming platform. You can give your feedback before we start season 2. But now that it lives in the world, it's everyone's now. And I'm so grateful that it speaks to so many people, that people are affected by it. They laugh, they cry. And man, what a cool, I don't know, what a cool way to bring something out in the world as the very first series you ever get to do is something that's so meaningful for so us, because you could really see the heart on everyone's input and everyone's sacrifice in every single frame on that set, in every single frame on that streaming series. That once you watch it, I could feel everyone's hard work. And that's pretty fucking cool.
Now that you baby Nurse the Dead is out there for the world to see, do you think that you're living your purpose and your mission in life?
Without a doubt in my head that this is exactly what I'm supposed to do. This is my mission, my vision. This is my dream, to put Filipino faces and Filipino stories out there. And I know some people won't understand it, diba?
How did you find out that that was your purpose and your mission? Was there some kind of vision that you saw, or was there some kind of apparition or something of that nature?
Do you remember when I told you the story about delivering babies in the middle of the street in the middle of an earthquake? So what I would do before every shift at that government hospital was I would go with my own money, I would have a fanny pack. And right before every shift, I would buy sutures. I would buy needles. I would buy like those local anesthesias just so after the mom gives birth to the baby, diba may tears talaga yan. I would have the sterile equipment just to be able to sew her up, because some of them can't afford that. Imagine in America, people don't even think about the epidural in Philippines, in those government hospitals, because if you can't even afford a suture to sew you up, how are you going to afford an epidural? So that's when I knew in my bones that there are still so many stories to tell, because there are perspectives that people haven't even heard of. Just that little fact that a woman can't get sewn up because she can't afford sutures after delivering a freaking baby. That reality, and us in America, that doesn't fucking exist, man. Like, we don't know that shit here. Like, what do you mean she couldn't afford a suture to sew up her private parts being ripped open by a baby coming out? that's the kind of things that I had to do to help someone. But at the same time, no one knows that story. And that's when I knew in my bones that, shit, man, like, people need to know about this. People need to know about the time where we rode wooden boats to Typhoon Haiyan, the world's most powerful typhoon. We had to ride wooden boats, and it was like God just took a shaver and just the land, right? That's the most powerful recorded typhoon in history. And so, things I saw in the aftermath of that, things I saw after that earthquake, it doesn't calculate if I don't talk about it and I don't write about it. And the things that I've experienced in our community, the people I've met, they all need to be honored in the things that I write. Mm-hmm. But also what's really cool is if I don't like you, sometimes I like everyone, but there's only like 3 people in this world that I'm like, oh my God, this is a bad person. Let me just express myself in that manner too. Is like, if you hurt me, I'll heal myself through the work that I do, right? And so instead of trying to do revenge or holding on to anger and hurt and pain, I put it on paper, right? Like, this person hurt me, so let me write a story about how this person overcame when someone's betrayed them or hurt them, and maybe find a way for forgiveness on paper.
And if you were to say something about what you're doing or what you want people to hear, what would that be?
With Nurse the Dead, I want people to know the sacrifices of Filipino nurses. I want to honor them. And that's everything that people can know and do. And just watch the show, man, and then you'll see what I mean. And watch the show, not what I mean, what we mean. What we put our heart and soul to. What Drea and Wesley and Andrew and Char and all these incredible human beings that just contributed to every single second on that screen. Because as you know, one place, a zipper, a continuity error, we forgot this, the shoelace untied on some pour. I mean, those are things that we don't have time to, or we don't have the, what's the word that I'm looking for? We don't have the luxury. Thank you, Adrian. We don't have the luxury of affording, because we don't have the budget to reshoot that scene. Like, every little detail has to be thought of, watched, and observed, because we don't have the millions that other shows do. But what we do have is, we do have a lot of heart, man. And I think that goes a long way, especially in what we do. There's something that Adrian brought up right now about this comment on Reddit that's really irking him a lot. And Adrian was like, this person is saying, Mick, that did you not make the character like really Filipino, like from Philippines talaga? And she's speaking English. So why not make her a nurse that was trained in Philippines and who's Pinoy na Pinoy? And here's my answer to that, right? The mom is Pinoy na Pinoy. The mom is trained in the Philippines as a nurse, worked in the Philippines as a nurse, speaks Tagalog to her daughter, who is Americanized. And this is Noah. That character mirrors my journey as someone who didn't really appreciate his culture when he was young, because I was raised here. There was a part of me that kind of rejected my culture just a little bit, because I didn't want to be bullied. I didn't want to be thought of as different, and I wanted to fit in. It was part of a survival mechanism for me. And so there were, not bringing lumpia and your sinigang to school because you're afraid that the kids will make fun that it smells bad. I mean, just little things like that, right? And Noah, this character, is finding herself and her culture, her Filipino identity through her mom right now. And that is something that the show is about. That's what the show is exploring. So to the person in Reddit saying that, why not be a person coming from the Philippines? I think that it's important that we bridge cultures because even sa Pilipinas, some kids, my cousins, my nephews, some of them don't speak Tagalog or Bisaya. They're taught just English from the day they were born. And this is something that Noah, our character, is starting to love and appreciate as she becomes an adult, as she becomes who she is as a person is. Man, like I need to find out where I come from to really accept and love who I am.
That character is addressing the sense of belonging and identity that most Filipino Americans have within themselves as children of Filipinos, Pinoys who came here. They were born and raised here as Philams. What are your hopes and dreams for Nurse the Dead?
My God, I just want people to watch it. My hopes and dreams are already realized that so many people are affected by it, are loving it. But I really want us to have a season 2, guys. So, and every season is a study on grief. So denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. Season 1 is about denial. And I hope that our kapamilya, our ABS-CBN, and our audiences out there in the world will know that, or will want a season 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And man, the story is already written. We have an 87-page show Bible. We have scripts now for season 2. So it's ready. It's going to get better. And it's going to get crazier and more awesome and funnier. And everyone's going to live in their skins more. And everyone's going to be more comfortable as actors. And we're just going to keep loving what we do because every day on that set was a blessing. Like I can tell you honestly, like we cried a lot, right, Adrienne? We cried a lot on set. We laughed a lot on set. It was just heaven, man. I felt like we're in heaven. And yes, it was stressful. Yes, we were like, oh my God, where's the IDs? Where's this? Because we didn't have a lot of time. We didn't have people. But man, we had a good ass time. And I just wish that's something that we could keep doing. And I hope to make it more sustainable and more sponsors will come in so that we don't have to sacrifice food on the table to be able to do the show. And that's something that I'm even to this day doing right now, right? I'm sacrificing food on the table just because I care that much about this show. And it's not about money for me, yes, but I also need to eat, right? But for this show and for this season, I wanted to make sure that everyone else gets paid first because they're helping me realize my dream too, of honoring my mom and all of the work that Filipino nurses have done around the world.
People out there want to watch Nurse the Dead. Where can they find it?
They can find Nurse the Dead just by Googling Nurse the Dead and how to watch it, right? But it's on iWant. The first episode is free, but it's very cheap to actually watch the show. So every dollar counts, and we'd really love for you to just check out episode 1. Watch it on iWant. And that's it. They just have to download the app and watch it on iWant. And that is one support, one view, a rewatch goes a long way to help us out.
Thank you so much for being with us today. And for you out there, don't forget to watch Nurse the Dead. It's on iWant. And we'll see you in the next episode of Chat with Mick.
Woo! Chat with Mick!
Bye.
So, Mick, I have a question for you. Are we still rolling? Okay.
Oh, you're interviewing me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I just want to ask,
Okay.
man. Like,
we could do this like the BTS, like towards the end of the video. Right? Like extras.
dude,
extra,
how did you start this? This is freaking cool, man. Oh, thanks. I love you. What moment in your life changed your direction? Ikaw, Mick. Okay. Well, you asked me. Dapat sabihin mo rin sa akin.
Yeah.
What made you where you are now?
Where I am?
Yeah. What did you have to overcome to become the Mick who owns this incredible studio? Who has a place in Skyrise.
Her family is well off sa Philippines.
You don't want to say that on. No, how did you become who you are today? What made you start to do these things, Mick? This is hard. What you do, it's not easy.
Yeah, well-
having your own studio and stuff
Well,
like that.
just like you, I had a story during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So a lot of people had difficulty and challenges during the pandemic, but it was also a good time for some people. And for me, it was one of the most prolific times of my life.
Yeah.
I ended up creating all these things. So I was thrusted into a world that I had no idea about. I wasn't. There you go. I even have an assistant, a stylist.
Yeah, Adrian is very particular, ha.
Yeah,
He reminded.
and so
Him and Marvin make a great team. That's why,
Yeah,
if you want a podcast producer, guys, or a video producer, Adrian and Marvin are fucking amazing.
And so, during the pandemic, I was able to create a lot of these podcast shows online because
So you had 7, huh?
everyone had a show.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Right?
that.
Everyone had a show. Like every
Adrian had a
other
show too?
person
Oh,
had
wow.
a show.
Wow,
And
okay.
and I was part of this Facebook group called SoCal Pinoys. I was an admin there, and I thought, well, like we were all just sitting at home. There's no connection. Everyone felt isolated during that time. Even more so at that time. There's like this, like overwhelming feeling that everyone can't connect with each other because of the physical space. We weren't allowed to go out or anything like that. And so I thought, one of the things that one of the ways we can engage the membership of SoCal Pinoys, the Facebook group, is to have a podcast, to have a show where we can invite all these people to be part of it, and we'll interview them, and people can connect with each other and promote themselves. And so I invited a group of people, from one profession or one industry. Let's say, for example, the filmmakers, because that's your group, your filmmaker.
Yeah.
I had 9 of them in one little screen. Like we all each had our own squares, and I had Abe Pagtama, I have Mark AJ
love
Nasal,
Abe.
I had AJ Kalamay, I had
big
Patricio,
big
Janelsa.
people in the community, yeah.
I had Joy Reguliano.
I
like
love
all
Joy
these
too,
people
yeah.
that don't really see each other
Yeah.
all the time. And they were like, how are you able to get these people in one show?
Yeah.
And they had Abe
Oh my
Pagtama.
God, I love Abe so
Right?
much. Oh my gosh.
That's just one example. And
Shout out Abe. I love you. If you're seeing this, if this is not gonna get cut, Abe, we love you.
yeah, I love you, Abe, too. One time I invited 5 dancers. So they're dancers from different fields. So there's a Polynesian dancer. There's
Did they actually dance on Zoom?
oh no. They were talking about
Oh, okay.
yeah.
You're gonna have to do performances on Zoom.
Yeah, no, not during that time.
Okay.
And so there was a cultural dancer who was taking his PhD, but his main focus was cultural dance from the Philippines. There was a ballroom dancer, there was a break dancer, there's a modern dancer, like modern as in Martha Graham type of dancing.
Yeah. That's
so they-
amazing. So you
each of
like
them-
hearing people's stories.
Yeah,
Like that's just a passion for you.
And each of them were talking about their own style. They were all dancers, so they all speak the same language, right? And we
Okay.
were talking about the longevity or having a short shelf
Yeah, dude,
life of being a dancer.
Yeah,
Like, what do
dancers
you
don't.
do
They have an
after,
expiration date.
right? How do you
Yeah.
take care
Your
of
body
your
gives you
bodies?
your own
Yeah.
expiration date. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And like,
The knees.
what kind of?
Yeah. Adrian's a dancer.
Yeah.
Retired dancer.
Yeah.
Oh, retired na nga. Oh, ang bata pa niya. You're so young and you're already retired.
On call.
On top. Oh no, you're not retired. We did the PSA. You danced at the PSA. That's how we first met. That's why I first fell in love with Adrian Pangalinan.
And it's the same thing with filmmaking, right?
Yeah.
You have to build relationships with people, and
Yeah.
and with the dancers, they have partner dancing and group dancing, but some of them, like the break dancers, of course, you like dance solo,
Yeah.
right? Like, how do you build trust with your partner? Stuff
Okay.
like that.
So how do you deal with a guest that bores you?
Oh my god!
It's hard to get stories out of someone sometimes,
find
diba?
something interesting.
I'm trying to do a podcast someday. Vic is gonna produce my podcast someday. So I'm trying to how do I do it, Mick? If it's
Yeah.
oh my god, this person, start talking, please.
Yeah, you have to grab onto something and kind of peel the onion, so to speak.
I love you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Yay!
Can you make watch?
This episode is brought to you by Tang and Java. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss out.